Hello everyone, this is Ashutosh. Welcome to the day 1 of technical analysis course. Today we are going to start our training on Japanese candlestick patterns. To understand the Japanese candlestick patterns, one must understand what candles are and how they are formed. A candle represents the price variation for a given time frame. A candle comprises of an open price, a high price, a low price, and a closing price for a given time frame. A candle can represent the price variation for 15 minutes, it can represent a time frame for 1 day, and so on and so forth. As said earlier, a candle will have 4 prices: a low, open, close, and high. The gap between the open and the close, I repeat it once again, the gap between the open price and the closing price will represent the real body. If the gap between the open and the close price is small, the shape of the real body will also be small. The thin line above the real body and the thin line below the real body represents the shadow. I repeat it once again, the thin line above and the thin line below the real body represents the shadow. The shadow which is formed on the upper side of the real body is called as a upper shadow, whereas the shadow which is formed on the lower side of the real body is called as a lower shadow. The end of the shadow on the upper side is called as high, whereas the end on the lower side of the shadow is called as a low. The high and the low represents that the market went to a certain extent upwards and also to a certain extent downwards. If the closing price of any candle is above the open price, it's a buy candle. I repeat it once again. If the closing price is above the open price, then the candle is a buy candle. Whereas if the closing price is below the open price, then it is a sell candle. Once again, if the closing price is below the open price, then the candle is a sell candle. These are the basics of any candle. Remember, a candle will always have open, low, close, and high. A candle shape or the real body of the candle will depend on the gap between the open and the close. A candle also represents the strength of buyers as well as the strength of sellers. So if the real body of a buy candle is long, that will represent the buyers are in strength. If the body for a sell candle is long, it will represent that the sellers are in strength. There are many other variations in the shape of the candles, size of the candles. We will conclude our next lesson on different type of candles and what their representation is. We'll also see how they can be interpreted in terms of buyers and sellers. For now, I request you to go through the basics of candle. Remember it thoroughly, as these are the basis to identify the candlestick patterns. Saying goodbye for now. See you tomorrow.